11, 10, 23. Camp breakdown. I don't like doing these things every day because I've done them, and I guess every spot's different. But they get a lot of views and people like it, so I'm going to continue doing it. So this camp I found at night. I camped with Old School, Jess, and Jamie last night out in the woods. And it was one hell of a hike with my pack and everything. So I ended up finding an active and fit gym close by, lugged my gear over there, locked it up. And instead of lugging my gear all the way back to their camp, I just found something close by. So I'll show you around. Now this was a patch of woods near a church. At first I was thinking about camping up right at the entrance of the woods, but I always get a little nervous camping right near paths. So in the night I trekked out into the woods and I found this little enclave here with old vines and stuff. It was a previous camp. For some reason, I always, even at night, I guess, I stumble upon old camps where people have been, and just kind of, I'll set my camp right up on the remnants of the old camp. See, there's a comb there, so it was definitely I'm guessing a woman, maybe a woman and a man camped here some time ago. And it seemed pretty secluded. So I snatched up this spot at night. A little creepy, I'll tell you. I was thinking this morning when I was getting ready that one day if I find camp at night, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be in someone's backyard and be like a dog licking my face or something. Get this camera situated. Okay, that seems sturdy. Per usual, got my orange juice. Now I really got to go to the bathroom, but I'm holding it for dear life till I can get to a bathroom. Orange juice really doesn't help with that, but it's helped with my throat and lungs, especially since I took up smoking again. So I laid down my little tarp. I have like a little canvas tarp here to make a A-frame if I ever need it. So it was really muddy last night. There was fog, like thick fog, and it was saturating the trees. It wasn't raining, but you could hear the drops coming down. It's really wet out here. So I had to lay that down because I don't want the bottom of my tent getting wet. I don't want water seeping up into the tent. There's already moisture in there from the rains last night. All right. So, pretty simple, these things. Boop. Boop. You're really covered in here. Almost all the leaves are off the trees, and I'm still hidden. Worcester has been an experience. They have a great bus system here, which the buses are free still from COVID, and they go all over the city. The city is sprawling. It's spread all out. There's a hub right in the center of downtown. And for this reason, a lot of the homeless have the ability to set up what I call permacamps, permanent camps, in different parts of Worcester, even to the outskirts, and just take buses and travel into the city and then travel back home to their camp at night. From going to the dinners and such, I've noticed there is a very large population of homeless in Worcester. The largest I've seen. Something I'll be talking about more and I'll write about is they don't have like a solid day program or something for homeless people here. So they have the meals and everything, which is great. But besides the Salvation Army, which does do some stuff, they don't have like a state-funded day program. So all the homeless hang out at the library. There's a lot of drugs out here. Because of the large population and the dangerous field because of the drugs, I didn't really insert myself too much into the population. I just didn't want people finding out that I'm doing a documentary or something and getting overloaded with people asking questions, or maybe somebody getting aggressive and trying to hurt me. I think back to that one homeless man I met in Framingham. Had like a sadistic way about him. It was kind of frightening. I do carry protective weapons, and I haven't shown anybody what those are. Just because one day if somebody were to try to track me down out here, figure out where I am, try to hurt me, that they wouldn't know what I have to protect myself. It was hard going to sleep here last night because of the dripping. This is a wooded area surrounded by an urban environment. There's cars and things I can hear. There's just a guy leaf blowing over there. I'm always close to civilization. Check my camera. Camera looks funny, but it's pointing right at it. So we're good on that. When it gets colder, if I'm camping outside, I'm gonna have to move fast on things like these metal poles so that my hands don't freeze quick. I sleep with everything inside the tent. So it doesn't get wet or stolen at night. All little bags go in there for all my stuff. Oh yeah, one new addition I bought at Walmart is this little tiny pillow, blow-up pillow. It's pretty nifty. It frees up my blanket because I've been using my blanket for a pillow. Stuff it in that little bag and you're good to go. You can use that on a bus ride, on a train ride, plane ride. It's just a little guy. Oh, come on. I just ripped my little sleeping bag here. My boots stink. I wear them all day. Riding my bike, walking around, and it's time to wash my socks all the time. So they've gotten to being really stinky. This thing's like one of those snakes in a can. Stuff it in there. Okay. In there. One of my big complaints about Worcester is all the hills. I've never seen more hills in one area in my whole entire life. Riding that bike, sometimes I gotta stop and I walk the bike. I just get, and it's bad both ways because you gotta ride up the hill and then you gotta go down the hill, and you're going so fast you gotta hold the brakes so that you're not going so fast that you have an accident. Cinches down here. Smush it all down into a tiny little package. Meeting up with Jess, Jamie, and Old School was interesting. They told me a lot of stories that were really hard to believe, but it was interesting. And what I admired about them is they had a really good bond. Old School was an old man. He was a polygamist, and he lost his 2 wives. And he met up with Jess and Jamie. Met Jess at the dinner. Took her in. And shortly thereafter, Jess's significant other, Jamie, joined them, and now they have a humongous tent out in the woods, and they live together, and they share a special 3-way relationship. And I think if that works and they care for each other, then more power to them. Old School says he's experienced homelessness off and on for most of his life. It's 40 years. Called himself a street elder, which is cool. Never heard that one. I guess street elders are the ones you go to that know where all the resources and stuff are to help you when you're living stuck out homeless in the street. I put no real effort into holding these things. One of the things I hear a lot that what homeless people tell me, and where they run afoul with society, is they don't like the shelter systems. They don't like the structure. They don't like how they're treated, the rules, dealing with other people constantly. Living outside is a loose way of life. I take to it. I mean, I prefer this. I figured I'd be hanging out in shelters, chilling, and I don't really do that, and I don't like it. And before this, I was working 2 jobs. and I was making good money, and I had a place. I've always had something like that, you know. And I did get in trouble because I was entrepreneurial in my illegal activities, and that was fucking stupid. But I see where the system creates opportunity for those who aren't interested in abiding by the systemic norms to come out and just stay out in the wilderness or out in the streets to avoid having to deal with that type of life. So the sad thing about that is that the services aren't really catering to what their actual wants and needs are. They're telling them that either they do it this way or they're going to have to live outside. But now they're a burden because they live outside. And that's something, personally, in my opinion, I don't like. And I see ways to improve that by creating places where people could stay that are safe, don't require a lot from the individual. It's just a safe place to sleep. Places to go, places to sleep, places to eat. It's the most important thing. If you don't feel comfortable there, then you're stuck. All right. So this cinched up, ready to go in the bag. Sure glad that guy's done leaf blowing. I don't know what I ate yesterday. Well, I do know what I ate, but I don't know which thing. I didn't eat there in the morning. It was raining. I stayed in my tent all morning. I did have one banana. But last night, up until this morning, I was ripping bellowing farts like nobody's business. And when you live in a small tent, you can't get away from that. I eat the meals at the homeless dinners. It's a good place for me to socialize, and sometimes I feel like they put a little too much flour in their roux. So this is essential. This is a blow-up sleeping mat. If you do not have one of these for your urban survival kit, I suggest getting one, because if you don't, you're going to have back problems. Unless you're like one of those people that just has like this super strong back muscles and stuff. That was one of the worst things, sleeping directly on the ground. The importance of urban survival is if everybody were able to put together a pack like I got, and I would only buy a pack that has a unzippable tiny backpack. Because when you're urban survival in it, you don't want to carry all your gear around, but you want your gear to be mobile if it has to be. If you had all the things that you need, then you could literally travel anywhere. And that's an urban area and survive comfortably. And get to see the sights, meet the people, learn the language, whatever. All right. Okay. Drink some orange juice. Got my pink blanket over here, so you can see it. The only thing that smells good. A baby kitty came in that blanket. And I raised her. Raised her from a baby kitty to a slightly larger kitty. I don't like using this for the ground. I had no choice. I don't care. I can buy another one if I have to. Yeah, yuck. Mud. I'm gonna have to wash this, but not right now. It's yucky over here. But because the bulk of the mud's on the bottom of this thing, I'm gonna fold it up like this. I'll put it in its bag. Yeah, it was wet over here. Had little leaves on it too. Some hitchhikers to take my bag with me along the road. All right. There's really no clean place to fold this. We're gonna roll this thing up. I just want it to fit in the bag because I don't want this stuff getting inside my backpack. All right. Did not do the best job rolling this one up. Stuff this thing in there. There's a tag on it that I want to rip off so bad. All right. I could smell the mud last night. I just don't like stinky mud inside my pack, but I don't smell it on this. It's weird. Staying outside as much as I've been, senses are a little bit stronger. This is a good product. I like it a lot, but the only thing I don't like is with the bag is so tight, like really forces you to be meticulous about rolling it up. Don't like doing just like flimsy little tarps like this. Now I gotta like inch it in there. If it was a little bit bigger, this bag Just scrunch it up like I did. Stuff it in there. There we go. I got it. All right, that's gross. That goes in there. Stuff that inside there. Little blanket goes on top. I got my little galaxy chair I sit on. So I'm out here in the vines, and that's it. That's my camp breakdown. I think I'm gonna relax for a minute, smoke a cigarette, and then hit the road.